The short pole is a deadly way to fish in the summer months. The fish are eating machines at this time of year, and fishing super short can be very effective. Today's video, I'm going to show you how to catch on the short pole, and we're not going to fish with one section, we're not going to fish with two sections, we're just going to fish with a top kit. This short line, just past your keep nets on match days, but super short, is a brilliant way to fish. It's the best place to fish at the moment. The fish are feeding, they're absolute eating machines at the moment. And I'm going to show you how we can catch them super close in. This works in matches as well, so it's not just a pleasure fishing technique, and anyone can do it. All you need is a top kit. You could even do it with a rod if you had a rod, but just a simple one top kit, and I'm going to show you how even that distance, a top kit, can be too far out on this kind of venue. Okay, so short pole fishing. I think I was a bit late to the party with this one, and I could never get my head around it. I used to see anglers like Pete Rice, anglers like that fishing really close in, and I couldn't get my head around it. I always used to think, well, I'll just fish a little bit further out and catch more because I'll get more fish in my peg. So I'd always persevere with fishing with top kit and one, top kit and two, top kit and three, going out. And I've never got to grips with it. I never ever got to grips with fishing short. I've always professed to be a terrible short pole angler. And now in hindsight, it's because I was fishing in the wrong spot. That sort of 5 metre line, top kit and two, is like a bit no man's land on a lot of venues now. The fish want to be in the edges, they want to be short. And it wasn't until I realised about 18 months ago that the fish are right under your feet a lot of the time that I've ended up catching more, and I'm pretty much convinced it's to do with the depth of water. So take this lake for example, it's sort of just a typical, it's like a couple of foot in the edge and it's just gradually going off to sort of 5 foot down the middle. Too deep, you know, the water's red hot at the moment. They don't want to be in that sort of depth of water. They want to be in shallow depth of water. So I've actually set up today in 30 inches, not even 3 foot. And it's going to be the perfect place to fish. And I'm not going to fish a top kit. I'm actually going to fish half a top kit. I'm going to fish literally just down here. On match days here, I've caught so many times, just literally trickling pellets in just over the rim of my net, and you literally just fish there, and it's better than fishing further out. I don't know why, whether it's the cover of the nets, whether that's just where they're comfortable feeding because of the depth. Don't know what it is, but that is the best place to fish. I'm going to show you how simple it is and how effective it is. So the first thing we need to talk about is the elastic. I've gone for 18 plus pink zip, really strong. Now when you're fishing so short, you can get away with a slightly strong elastic. You're on top of the fish, you've just got to get them up and out of the way. Last thing you want when you're fishing so close is excess disturbance. So you kind of want to boss the fish from the minute you hook them. So hook them and just have a nice smooth powerful elastic that will sort them out pretty quick. This is sort of going to come good later in the session. So the last sort of hour and a half, 2 hours is when you're going to be fishing this, and you can catch a big run of fish there short, and it's important to make the most of it, and pink zip will help you do that. Important to have a nice short line there, and that is 6 inches between connector and the float. I've got a few back shots there, 3 number 8s, 0.23 exact main line, nice and strong, very important. Again, we're trying to catch big fish here. Now float, I've got a 0.4 collet, perfect float for fishing for big carp. I'm going to be fishing simple bait, 6 mil hard pellets. This works an absolute treat, nice and stable, and it's just a great float for carp fishing. Now, as is always the case with me, I've got my staggered sort of bulk, so I've just got my number 9 sort of spread a little bit. Because I'm going to feed by hand, you often get a few fish on the fall, so I'd like to just, it doesn't change, the rig's the same, what I would always use because I get an odd one on the fall. And then I've got an 0.20 exact hook length, and then I've got a size 16 B911 extra strong. I can't use a standard B911 with this elastic, it just wouldn't be quite strong enough, it wouldn't be balanced. So I've just gone up to the extra strong version of that hook, and it's going to work an absolute treat. Now bait wise, I've just got some 6 mil pellets. These are ones that the fishery man, Rich, has kind of given me. They're his special pellets, and I like them. I like them a lot. So I'm going to be experimenting with them a little bit over the next few weeks. But yeah, so all we need to do is just trickle bait in on this. I'm just literally, because it's a hard bottom where I'm fishing, I'll show you where I've plumbed up. But because it's a hard bottom there, I can probably get away with feeding a little bit more than what I normally would do. So I'm just going to trickle pellets in there by hand, and I'm pretty sure we're going to catch, it's the right time of day now, I'm pretty sure we're going to catch loads of fish down there. It's going to be great, and it's really good, effective way to fish, and it's easy to do. So let's get some fish caught. Okay, so the first job is fishing in the right place. Like I say, when you get your head around the fact that the fish want to be in shallow water, even like that much pole feels like you're just miles away from where the fish want to be. It's so deep. That's just top kit and 1. It feels so far out. And then when you put top kit and 2 on, which is like the traditional sort of distance, it's just no man's land. Like here, it's just literally no man's land. When you actually think about it, it's just too far out. So when I finally got my head around it and started to realise that the fish just want to be in the shallower water, and that they're not bothered about your nets and they're not bothered about you, they just want to be where they want to be, I realised that the best place to fish is literally a top kit, at worst top kit and half a section, certainly here. And basically what I've been looking for is a nice place to fish on this marginal slope in that sort of 30-inch depth. Now I've picked that depth because when I fish the edges here, I've always realised that that 30 inches is like the key depth. You get plenty of bites there and the fish seem quite comfortable. So I've just carried through what I'm doing down the margins onto this. So it's important to be accurate. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to fish there. So I've just got my, as always, my body and my float sticking out, and that's just going to be perfect. So I'm just going to put a little, I'm just going to use my kit mark, and I'm just going to put a ring around my top kit where I'm going to hold the top kit. So every time I can fish there, because just because we're fishing close in doesn't mean we shouldn't do the basics well. So I'm just going to add a little bit more depth to that, but that's going to be about perfect, I would say. Lovely. So just add another inch to that, and that, I believe, is going to be about right. So hold that joint. Lovely. So that's just there, and I'm literally just going to trickle sort of 3 or 4 pellets in there, and we're going to get straight to it. So I'll just quickly, because I'm expecting quite good fish on this, so I don't want to got to make, oh that's good, isn't it? Look at that, it's the same mark. Brilliant. Just a quick bit of like a bit of knowledge. This is best when there's some water movement. Like today we've got a lovely bit of ripple blowing in. It's the perfect day for a short pole attack, it really is. Them fish are going to be happy down there. If it's a still hot day, that's probably not the best place to fish. You might be better off fishing this depth but further along the bank. But when you've got wind blowing in, it's warm, they'll come close in like this. So that's just the point. And then obviously time of day as well. Afternoon is the best time to fish this. So let's get on it. So hold my little thing, and I'm just going to flick the rig out to start with, past the pole, and then I'm just going to start the process of feeding it really. So I'm just going to flick in 4 pellets right on my pole float, and it is simple fishing. Like, couldn't be more simple, but it's key not to just go nuts with a bait to start with at least. Like, let's just work it out. Let's work out what we're dealing with, how many bites we can get. Now, because we are fishing so close in, look at that. That's incredible, isn't it? Look at that pink elastic. Look, you see what I mean? You just get them away, get them up. I talk a lot about, and I've mentioned it a lot to Mick on the Old Dog New Tricks videos, about controlling the fish. And this is this classic situation of controlling the fish. So if I was to fish top kit and 1, top kit and 2, I would get so many more indications. I'd be getting little false bites, I'd be getting little lifts, little dibs and dabs. Definitely, that's what would be happening. But I've been missing loads of them. You feel busy, but you're not actually catching. With this, I probably won't get hardly any indications. Probably get a little bit of a movement in that. But it's clean. I will be getting a bite rather than all that nonsense that I don't really want. So you feel like you're not as busy as you would be fishing further out, but when your float goes under, generally it's a bite, you know, it's not a fish right up in the water or whatever. It's generally what you're looking for. I mean, look, that's incredible, isn't it? You see how that pink elastic's working? Just get some up off the bottom. I mean, that's just like rapid, isn't it? And like I say, you could say, oh, you're pleasure fishing. Of course the fishing's going to be better because we're pleasure fishing, but it does work in matches. And that sort of top kit line is just incredible. What's going on with him? So this is how simple it is. But it's just because we're fishing in the right place. We're not fishing too far out. We're fishing where the fish want to come and fish. I mean, look at this. That's obscene, isn't it? I mean, I love paste fishing, but you won't catch this fast on paste. It's free fishing, what? A couple of minutes? That's unbelievable, isn't it? And it's simple fishing. Anyone can do this. Like, late in a session, late in a match, you've got them coming. And I tell you what happens when you're in matches, you tend to get little bursts of fish there. So it's worth feeding it. I feed it, not all day, but quite regular. I probably feed it a bit earlier than my margins. And then when the time comes to go on it, I'll go on it, and if they're there, you'll get signs straight away. And you can generally nick in, catch a couple really quick, like what's happening here. And then if it starts to slow, just come off it. It's like a little bonus little line. It's brilliant. Right, so as you can see, it's just like absolutely lightning quick, and that's what it's like. But I do think it's important to sort of, you just can't catch as fast as that all the time. So it is worth having other lines on the go, you know, your margins and whatnot. Because often what happens with this, you get 2 or 3 really quickly, like what's just happened. Then all of a sudden it's sort of just, they go a bit funny. So then it would be a case of like moving somewhere else. You could probably do it, in far fairness. You could probably fish this rig somewhere else, probably just here or something. Just I've shot off that rig. Fish there though. And what I'm doing, I'm just, when I don't feel like there's any fish there, I kind of up the regularity of the bait a little bit more. So I'm trying to like elicit a response. I'm trying to sort of get them going again. A little bite. You see, what happens is, because you've got the right elastic on, they sort of glide off out the peg, and then you've got the guts to sort of pull them in. Look at that, I mean, they're just proper weight builders, aren't they? Because we're fishing on such a lovely bottom, it makes them so much easier to catch. Come on, mate. Hey. Just fantastic. Right, I'm just going to pop a little shot on there, because I definitely lost a shot during whatever went on, playing a fish or whatever. Unusual for a stop to ping up. Liking these pellets. So, accuracy, whack on my marker, flick that rig in, trickle those pellets in. Simple, basic fishing, but deadly effective and enjoyable. There's something about catching them close in, isn't there? It's nice. I'm just sort of, you can see everything on your float when you're fishing so close in. You can get a really solid sort of reading of what's going on. Look at that, look, a little movement there. Trickling those pellets in. That little, that might be foul at that one. It was like a bit of a float, just sort of went to the side a little bit. Bit odd. Never mind. No, it's not. Just an F1. That was actually in the mouth. Well, it's very close to the mouth, so it might have just maybe a cheeked it. Maybe why it come off. You could use baits like meat. The dreaded corn would probably work. I'm not a, as we all know, I'm not a corn man, but meat would work here, fishing like this. But I mean, the more and more fishing I do, the more and more I just end up putting a 6mm pellet on these days. I just think fish are so tuned into them now that they're just, there's no point going against the grain. Like there's no, like you used to, back in the day, you'd put meat in and you'd get such a strong response that it was just head and shoulders better than everything else. But I never seem to get that anymore. Like you used to get such What's your experience with that? Because I used to, oh, blooming heck, I can't believe I missed that. When I used to fish meat, it was such a big difference between that and other baits, but I don't seem to get that now. I just think they just love pellets. They're just pellet munchers these days, aren't they? I know I joke about corn, but corn has its time and people like fishing it. But again, that seems to have gone now. Like venues like the Glebe and stuff that used to love corn just doesn't seem to have the same effect anymore. And it's no coincidence, it's when we've got more familiar with using hard pellets that's made the difference. But yeah, I mean, it's simple stuff in it. It's not rocket science, this. But just getting the basics right, plumbing up accurately, fishing accurately, feeding accurately, regular small amounts. And yeah, and having the right kit on. And the key is knowing when to come off it as well. I think that's such an important point to make. Like in a match, I would have the margins primed up and I'd have other options so that I could get straight on it if I needed to. So I could just, like what happened, you go in, you catch your fish dead quick, then it's starting to fade a little bit, so I move somewhere else, catch them fish, come back to it. All the time I'd be trickling bait in here. So just try and catch you one more. But yeah, just because it's like so close in, it doesn't mean you shouldn't do the basics. So like I say, I've got that, use that kit marker to make a little line there. So I'm in the same spot every single time. I'm feeding accurate as I can right on my float. Like that. No need for a pot because it is so close in. There's probably no need for that. And then I can just, that was a nice bite. I think I need to up the amount of the regularity of the bait. I think I'm just being a bit too frugal with the bait. I think that's something that I've quickly realised. Look at that pink. I just love it. Mick always thinks I'm an animal for using this pink all the time, but I think it's just the right elastic. When you're fishing short and stuff, it's what you need, and that's just a perfect demonstration of the fish you catch on this, like proper fish. Like, they're proper Barbie weight builders, they are. 4 to 5 pound fish. It's perfect. I mean that's one of the simplest methods I've ever sort of shown, yet one of the most effective. It's just deadly. I mean, that's a cracking fish, and it's just one of them absolutely brilliant methods that you've just got to have in your armoury. Dead easy to use, dead easy to fish. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you again on the next video.